Sidon Ithano, you old skurk. Look at you. How's the Crimson Corsair been faring of late?
Cut the pleasantries, Kragan. Do you want the cargo or not?
They don't make them like that anymore. I don't know where you stole these from, Sidon, but you have outdone yourself.
So, do we have a deal?
Indeed, we do. But the merchandise does look a bit worn out. Say if we lower the price a little. Of course. A deal like this is hard to pass up. Drell, give the Corsair his money.
You got it, Captain.
These battle droids will be perfect to take over the Colossus.
Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy far from the sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Rebel Princesses, Plastic Spacemen, and Space Wizards. This is Todd Hoffman and Trent Hoffman. You're listening to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 92. Today we're going to be talking about Star Wars Resistance Season 2, Mutiny. Yes, it's episode 14 of Season 2, Mutiny. And we're super excited to talk about this today. Unfortunately, Trent couldn't join me, but he will be back shortly. We had a little spring tease here in Chicago, so we're able to get outside. I hate to admit it, but were some Christmas decorations that were still not taken down, and so we're able to take down the lights, kind of get rid of spring, or get rid of the snow and bring in the spring. We still had a little snow over the weekend, so Trent and I got his little RC car truck out and got to play with that a little bit, so that was fun, and enjoy this little patches of snow left. But yeah, we were able to take down some Christmas decorations and get that all kind of straighten out and get the garage cleaned and get ready for spring, which we're super excited about. It's finally here, or going to be here. So typical Chicago is super warm, 50s. That's super warm here in Chicago, and especially in March. But then it turned, today is 30, but then on Saturday it's gonna be 70 or something. So that's just how it goes here in in Chicago with spring. But yeah, it's been fun. So we got to do that. I mean, we're still, I think last week the news dropped that Legot Star Wars Game went gold. So we're super excited about this game coming out. Can't wait to get my hands on that. Our hands, because we'll be playing that and all that stuff. The laptop is still in the shop. Hopefully that will come back soon and we can get back to streaming. So we've kind of put a pause on our little Madden tournament, but we should be getting back to that shortly. But in the meantime, we're still doing the podcast. Still got some computer power left here to make this happen. So let's just dive right into our main topic. So again, we're looking at Star Wars Resistance Season 2. It's been a little scattered. Let's just say it hasn't been consistent with the reviews, but we picked up from last week. But originally, I think our last kind of Star Wars Resistance review wasn't. It was way back in November 2021, right before Book of Boba. It's kind of kicked in, so we paused it, and now we're picking it back up, trying to get through it here. And it's honestly, I'm getting more comfortable with this, with Star Wars Resistance, and enjoying a little bit more as we get further here in the season, and it's cool. It's cool. So this one is Pirate leader Kragan Gore. Fun name. He looks really great too. A squid head, if you will. He's not a Mon Calamari. He's a jeez. I'm embarrassing myself. He is a what is he? He's a what is the name of that species? Not Squidhead. It's which is the Return of the Jedi kind of name. It's a Aquarian. Jeez. Oh, my brain. See, I need to brush up on my Star Wars species. But yeah, he's Aquarian, and the pirates have always been kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of they've been there, but there's a little conflict with him and Doza. It's not like the best of the relationships, and in some respects they're kind of kept prisoner in a way that they have limited access to the Colossus, and Doza is getting kind of fed up with their antics. But this is really just about them getting in trouble. So it starts off with an interesting thing where they have their own ship, and they leave the Colossus to go kind of for a supply run. And we get a Force Awakens favorite. He is seen in Maz's castle, and it's the Crimson Crosshair. Crosshair or Crosshair? Yeah, he is sitting. Man, see, all these Star Wars names are just terrible. Sidon Ithanio, I think that's how you say it. He is the red guy. That's what I would call him, the red guy in the Force Awakens that Finn goes visits after he says, "Hey man, I got to split." So yeah, and we had the same. Gosh, see, this is where I'm really bad with the species, but we had the same alien guy species as his other friend, the Crimson, that was talking to Finn in last week's episode when Kaz and Conavarth or Corvanth or whoever, the Resistance agent guy, they invaded that guy's home and he threw fruit at him, and it was the same species as we saw in Finn. But I am just blanking on names tonight. I can't think of it. But anyways, they get an arms deal, and what happens is that Kragan has some B2 Super Battle Droids from the Clone Wars. Yes, some prequel love here in the Resistance. It seems like a renaissance or perfect timing, because obviously we had the N1 Starfighter love with the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, and now I get to see B2 Battle Droids again. So the tensions are pretty high, obviously, like with Doza, and he kind of grounds them. And there's a little sequence where they drop the cargo out of the bay, so when Doza and a security team comes by, they can't see anything, and then they do their thing and bring it back. But Doza is smart and knows that he is up to something, so he brings in Niku, who is the innocent person, and essentially they ask Niku to offer his services to Kragan, and so he does, but obviously Kaz feels a little left out. He's got a little FOMO. He follows Niku, and they need an engineer because the B2 battle droids are not up to snuff, and so Niku does that, and basically gets all of them up to speed. But there's a surprise. There is a regular battle droid that also Niku is handling and getting all set up. And next thing you know, Kragan throws him into the brig, a container, and they capture Kaz. And yeah, it's just Kaz gets in trouble right away, because he knows that he's spying. And yeah, it's kind of funny that Doza and Yeager do not trust Kaz in a sense, and give Nico the spot in the for them to be the engineer. And so now they're kind of trapped, and now we have the B2 battle droids running amok on Colossus, and it's not looking good. And now They actually get to Doza's quarters. They kind of capture the aces. They go through all that. They get to Doza's quarters. Yeah, and it's just kind of not a good thing. So that is really what happens here. And luckily, Niku is smart enough to put in a kill switch. And so when it looks like it's all over, that they end up getting Doza and Jaeger and all the people kind of in the main bay. I'm not really sure the sequence of events there, but they get back to the bay of where the pirate ship is, and this is where Niku steps in and has a kill switch with the using the battle droids. And there's just a lot of prequel love here. If you're into the Clone Wars and you love your some battle droids, it's just fun seeing a battle droid and its antics with the super battle droids. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun seeing the action, but that's the trick. Then they basically now capture the pirates, and it's Sonara is kind of chooses sides at this point and says, "Hey, I think I'm ready to actually break my bonds with the pirates, and I'm gonna stay with the Colossus." So they give Kragan an ultimatum and say, "Hey, you are free, but you got to leave and don't come back," type thing, or you'll be in trouble and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, it's a fun little episode. It's fun. Niku again, always the wisecracks. It basically we're at the end, it's like he basically said, Niku says to Kaz, like, yeah, I've learned anything from being a spy from him. You just, as long as you look naive and clumsy, no one will ever guess what your true motivations is. And that's where he kind of goes with Kaz and just kind of does a little rib, even though Nico doesn't mean as a rib, it's kind of a rib, but that has been Kaz's game the whole time. Not the most competent spy, but Niku just saying, hey, yeah, this is what I do. I just follow you, man. So there you have it. It's, again, a lot happens in 24 minutes, but it's fun. This one's a little light. Obviously, out of the last like kind of three, the one where we first get introduced to Axe before last week, so that would be episode 12, I thought was really strong. Last week wasn't too bad. This one's a little light, but again, if you like some prequel love and you like you need a battle droid fix, this is definitely the one for you. And then we have a little Force Awakens ties in with the Crimson Crosshair, so that Corsair. I like to say Crosshair, but it's Corsair. So yeah, those are all kind of cool stuff that happens there. So there you have it. That is the Mutiny for Star Wars Resistance Season 2, Episode 14. Thanks again for listening to another episode 92 of Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Big T Little T Podcast, Twitter, BLILT Podcast on Twitter. Yeah, did I say that? Twitter? Yeah. Okay, said Twitter. And then twitch.tv, Big T, Little T. We'll get that back soon as the laptop's fixed. Hey, we got stickers. I got some other swag too, so we want to hear from you. So comment, tweet, rate us on Apple Podcasts, and I think you could also rate us on Spotify now. Hey, send us an email at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com. We can read your rating if you send us your rating. We'll read it or read your review. You give us a rating, we'll read the review. Send us a review. We'll read it on the next couple episodes. And obviously, if you have a question, you're still reeling or trying to process the Book of Boba Fett, drop us a line. Love to kind of dissect stuff. Or you got a general Star Wars question. We love to answer those. So that is bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com. You're like, hey, I can't remember too much. That's how my memory is. I can't remember Quarians. I don't know. It happens. You can do find us. All our information is bio.link /big T. That's all you need to know. Has all our links there. Check it out. It's on our socials. Just there's all the information right there. And next week, we're going to continue the Star Wars Resistance Season 2. We're going to continue to push through this season and get it done in a good way. Not like I'm trying to just get a checklist, but I have been enjoying this, and it's been fun to revisit going back to Star Wars Resistance. So, truly wonderful the mind of the child is, and may the Force be with you always. Bye. See you later. Peace, peace, peace. Bye. Test. 1 2 1 2. Test.